Hello, hello. Today we have my first ever palette from Oden's Eye. This is the first palette I've ever tried from Oden's Eye. And I have to say, the outside packaging is just so beautiful. I love the theme. You can see how it's got like some hollow and it sparkles. It's so pretty. I love the way it looks like a book. It's all over everything. I think it's very pretty. The print as well, it also shines. Look at that. It's so pretty. This was the Saga of Freja 2, and on it says Saga of Freja Chapter 2, Cat with Golden Carriage. Here it says Freja, it says Cat's Breath Palette, written by Oden's Eye. So I hear a lot about this brand, especially from the smaller, larger beauty gurus, especially one Swedish YouTuber in particular. They're always raving about this brand. So I was really excited when I saw they had some palettes on sale for Black Friday, because that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the Black Friday sale so I can try these out. So I got this on a Black Friday sale this past year. And I do like how it's just a little slip. So we pull it off, and now it looks the same as it does on the cover is what the outside looks like. So we're looking at the same thing here, except in the back of this one, it has the names of all the shades. And then there's just a little less information. So if you wanted the actual ingredients, the ingredients would be on the back of the carton, not the actual palette. It definitely looks like a cute little book, like a little notebook. I like the gold kind of lining all along the frame and everything. Just unit, carton wise, this is so beautiful. This is so unique. It's absolutely very gorgeous on the outside. So now let's open it up. So in here you will see there is a mirror. It's very pretty. It's surrounded by all this gold. It's a very gorgeous little mirror right there. We're going to cover up for now. And we can see here all these very interesting shades. So you can see pretty much for this palette, you can do basically like a teal look, or you could do an orange look. That's kind of what you're minimized to. We're looking at a 9-shade palette. And of course you could mix it. You can mix the teal with the orange. I guess you could say you have 3 possible color looks you could do. I did 2 looks with this palette. I did just the way it's set up. I thought it was very obvious. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do an orange look. I'm gonna do a teal look. So my orange look was not the business. My orange look I was not, what's the word? I guess I was underwhelmed. I guess maybe my expectations are too high, especially because this is a brand that YouTube gurus love to talk about. It's one of the indie brands that they're absolutely in love with. They're obsessed. And I've tried it and I was like, okay, well, have you ever tried Makeup Revolution? Because it's kind of giving Makeup Revolution. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Makeup Revolution. It's fine. I'm not going to sit here and shit on brands that cost less. Absolutely not. But you're going to put a high price tag on this and then give me shades that work as well as Makeup Revolutions? No, honey, no. Like, we're not doing that. So let's look at what I actually paid. I'm gonna pull up my receipts and see how much I paid for this palette on Black Friday. But it looks like I got this palette for $18.20. For $18.20 even, and that's the Black Friday sale amount. So, do I think this palette's worth $18? I don't freaking think so. I think at most you might pay like $10. None of these colors really stood out to me. This white peach and the warmth shade just did not, oh god, I can't even grab it. They didn't work the best on my skin tone. So I immediately was like, I don't know if this is the palette for me. So on my eye, this shade just didn't really appear, which is like, okay, well that's fine. We'll just do that as a base. And we'll add on this warmth color, which is a stronger orange, right? Like it should appear more. I think you can see this a lot better in the camera, but in person, these look almost exactly the same. Like, if I move back here, there's a slight difference, but, I mean, on the eye, these are going to look exactly the same. So, I was not excited for that. I was like, okay. And then we have this brown here. It's a brown with some gold shimmers. We got brown with a gold shimmer, you can see there. Look at our shimmer. It's not that dark. It's really not that dark. Mattes with shimmer, with these sparkles, the sparkles rarely ever make an appearance. Like, are the sparkles in the room with us, because they rarely ever make an appearance. You'll see it here because I'm swatching it on my hand, but this is a pretty color. But for me, I need a much deeper color, and the deepest color you're going to find in here is probably this. Like, ugh, I don't know. It's too light. We have this color over here called Soft. On my skin tone, a flop. It was a flop. It was okay. It just didn't do much for me. On my hand it might look a lot prettier than it did on my eye, but it was just so subdued, and I'm not really a person that does subdued shades. My favorite in here was the teal look that's available in this palette. This shade in here did not work. It is cast as fuck. Like, it just did not... I tried to apply it with my finger. I tried to apply it with my brush. I can't... It's not even like, oh, it's a sheer eyeshadow. It just doesn't really apply. I got some of that sparkle. I mean, you can see some of that sparkle. It's not... This isn't doing it. This is not cutting it. Absolutely not. Catnip and Bad Temper, I think they were good colors. I like those colors. I think actually these two in here are my favorite shades. We had this Bling shade right here, which just... I think it was a decent color. It was okay. But I'm not going to keep this entire palette for this one shade. And you can see here, like, it's kind of flaky. But I'm not going to keep this palette for just this one shade. I will say I absolutely did love using this Wool Ball shade over here. And if you can see it on camera, it has, like, chunks of orange and the teal, and, well, orange and the blue, and you're, like, wondering what color is that going to make? It turns into a gold, so it's very interesting, very fun. I do really like this color. You can tell it is chunky in the palette, so I don't mind if it's chunky on the eye, because I feel like it's meant to be like that, versus a shade maybe like this, which I feel like should be applying a lot smoother on the eye, and it's not. The thing with this one as well, though, is that after use, you can see here, you can see it on my camera, there are oil stains. I tried to press this shade to get some of the oil out of it, so hopefully it doesn't ruin the carton and you don't see this huge oil stain around the shade, but no oil would come out of it. It was so weird. Oh no, I accidentally stamped her over here. So I'm going to dip into this one over here. So that's probably the darkest shade you're going to get in there. Which I did like this Bad Temper shade, and I did like this Catnip shade over here. And I don't mean to you know, swatch the entire palette, but I did like these two colors the most on me. I think those worked the best, which I don't usually go for cooler colors, but I did like it. And of course, I'm going to swatch this one. It's very soft. I think it's really fun that they have all these. Like, it's a mixture that you have to make yourself. You can see there, very blinding. It is so blinding. So I really like that. It's got like a gold shift to it after mixing all those colors. So you can see there is a really pretty kind of gold reflect, but it does turn into like a silver with a gold reflect. I think that's really unique. I think that a shade like this is really cool. It sucks that it's so oily. There's like oil all over my palette. Like I said, I tried to press this to get some of the oil out, so hopefully we don't see it seeping into the cardboard, but there's no oil that comes out of it when I press into it. So I guess it is what it is. Overall, do I think this is a good palette, and would I recommend this palette? No. I think if you're a collector, it kind of makes sense because it does have some very pretty packaging. Like, this is a very pretty packaging that we have right here. But overall, pay attention to when these YouTubers are decluttering videos, or doing decluttering videos, because I've seen this palette decluttered pretty much every time. And a lot of the reasons why they always give is like, well, I don't really reach for it, which, understandable. There's, like I said, maybe only 3 looks in here, tops, that you could really do. But apart from, like, the color story, I was very underwhelmed. I think the shades in here should be better. I think that the shades should be in here per the, you know, the experiences that other YouTubers are talking about, the legacy that kind of almost comes with this. Like, I don't know, is it just me? What do you guys feel about Oden Eye? Because this is a makeup brand that's supposed to be from Sweden. This is a Swedish makeup brand, and the way that all these YouTubers I've seen talk about Oden's Eye, you would think that they make the absolute best makeup, and this is just not it. The oranges in here are very overwhelming. You have this shade over here that you can't even get color out of. This one's okay. I think that, like I said, these two mattes over here are the best. Let's do more of this with a little less oil, maybe. I think that would be fun. But I still have 2 more Oden's Eye palettes I'm going to try. In terms of this one, I think the packaging is an A+. I think the actual formula itself, overall, I would give it like a D. Because besides the fact of the color story, because I do like the color story, but I wouldn't, if I kept it, I wouldn't reach for this because I didn't like the formula on it. I just don't think, I could make better looks with other palettes. When I tried the orange look in this palette, my immediate thought was I would never reach for this palette because I would go rich for Jeffree Star's Pricked palette before I ever reached for this one. I mean, I keep coming back to it, but I mean, I do absolutely love the look. I don't mind the color story. Where this palette is failing is the formula. I'm sorry, but I'm passing this along. Let me know down below what you guys think of Oden's Eye, because I still got 2 more palettes to go.